Awesome. So I am one of the Green Senators for Western Australia. I have carriage of the Disability Rights and Services portfolio, as well as Youth Affairs, the NBN, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, digital rights, IT, the video game industry, and Paralympic sport, as well as sustainable cities as well. So a lot of different things. I am the only disabled person that has been elected to the Federal Senate, and I'm currently the youngest person as well. So I work a lot in the youth and disability spaces. Well, I think here's the reality of the societal changes that we are seeing in Australia. Over the next 25 years, the primary engine of growth in our economy is going to be the caring economy. It's working with people, whether that be older people as our population ages, or with disabled people through the growth of the NDIS. And so there's a real challenge put to the public service at the moment, which is to make sure that you've got the cultural settings and the policy settings necessary to deliver for those communities and support those workforce populations to grow and succeed. And in doing that, I think that we need to recognise that disabled people particularly face forms of systemic discrimination not unfamiliar to those faced by women and people of colour, and therefore to look to similar policy solutions that we would in those areas in order to make sure that the public service is set up to succeed, because it is actually comprised of a decent amount of folks with a background experience of those that they're actually working for. Well, primarily in the spaces that I work, the primary barrier is invisibility, which is to say that I don't think our society fully comprehends the discriminations that are faced by young people or disabled people. These are naturalised forms of discrimination that are a little bit further down the road of the societal realisation of their existence than perhaps we are in areas such as misogyny and racism. So one of the challenges is actually getting people to realise that there's a problem when we have such low levels of employment in the public sector from disabled people, for instance, when we so rarely include children in the development of education policy, regardless of the fact that they're actually the consumer of the policy itself. So invisibility is the key challenge, and then motivation to action, because we're often dealing with two constituencies which experience the discrimination and are structurally disempowered from voicing their own happiness, and therefore prevented from giving people the necessary poke that is sometimes required for action. So those are the twin challenges, I think, from my perspective. Well, I think fundamentally what we're doing here is giving people the opportunity to connect and share ideas. Unfortunately, public service institutions can often be dominated by cultures of silo and competition. Government departments are so often set up to compete with each other, to pay, to be in hock to one another. So this offers an opportunity to de-weaponise the spaces that we're working with and share our common problems, and that accounts for department to department, and also MP to the broader public service.